Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for August 2023. Excuse me, I just need to sip of my coffee. Alright, presently, during this period, you're experiencing some sort of ending with something. It could be an ending to the way you're thinking about things. And it also has to do with your emotional depth and your how deep you're thinking about a painful situation. Excuse me. Or it has to do with what you're surrounding yourself with is either affecting you. You're immersing yourself in some sort of pain. It could be the loss or betrayal of a friend is what I'm thinking. Because we have the Three of Cups above it in the head sector, what you're aware of. You might have had a past betrayal as well with a friend, and now you're trying to rebuild, or there's some sort of reestablishing your emotional, what you surround yourself with that feeds your soul, or your nurturing of others and your compassion for others. There's something here that has to do with that, and a friend, circle. I see that in the past, you were established in some sort of way, and were celebrating that home, that victory, that you might have had more going on at the time. There was this kind of, I've built this and the systems are working for me and everything is in flow, but I might not be emotionally satisfied with something. And now that that's ended, it seems like you're feeling very immersed in your own emotions, that you're not distracted anymore. You were distracted by the mundane aspects of life in the past, and now that seems to be changing for you. And you're more, a painful ending might have actually spurred you into some sort of psychic awareness or spiritual awareness of a situation. You might be really in your feelings about some sort of ending with a friend. You might be taking it a little bit more. I don't have the Three of Swords, but it is some sort of betrayal that's led you to having to kind of go within. And because you don't have all the information, I'm thinking, because we go from the 9, the 10 to the 9, I feel like you're of Swords, you're having to use your intuition on this situation. I see what you're not aware of is that you might be coming across as more of a free spirit in relationships. That you might be coming across as somebody who is not committed to some sort of partnership. Maybe it's a fair weather friend kind of thing, that vibe you're putting off right now. Or maybe somebody else is putting off that kind of vibe, or has been, and you haven't noticed, and that's why it's led to this situation. It's like a lack of commitment to teaming up with somebody else or teaming up with different people. You're not feeling like you can focus on one person. And so maybe these friends up here that you're thinking about this kind of communion of souls here, someone might be feeling neglected within, or a couple of these people might be feeling neglected within this time frame because you have been very deeply immersed. And it's not that you're not, she's super compassionate, the Queen of Cups. This is also somebody being intimidated by your psychic nature or something like that. There's an intimidation of your gifts. There's also this kind of there's this pain for other people going through a situation. Maybe there was a boundary that had to be placed in terms of a relationship. But in the past, people flocked to you. You had more going on. But you feel like you weren't satisfied with something, although you did have some more emotional stability then, in terms of maybe your friend group, the fun things you would do, the workplace. And so things have changed because something has ended. If this has to do with a love situation, there's an ending that you are being very supportive and compassionate about. If it has to do with a relationship in your life, you are still being very kind and caring. You might be more worried about the other person than yourself at this time. I see that this maybe you're not ready for a commitment, and maybe there's some sort of guilt about that. Or maybe you're not aware that your partner is not ready for commitment, and this can be a partner in any kind of thing. Maybe it's a friend you've started building and you don't know if you can trust them yet with certain kind of information about yourself or your life. Maybe it's a job, business partner. I tend to think it's more on the friends, social circle, work related friends that could be what you can't. It's like you can't give all for some reason. You can offer emotional support, but maybe you don't have the financial support to give to somebody, and so that's going through a hard time or an ending. But you presently are at, this is you going through this ending. So maybe you're ending something because you just become aware of some undercurrent of information that this person maybe isn't maybe ready to commit to you or be worthy of investing in you, or they don't want to invest fully in some sort of way. This could have to do with a job as well. Somebody giving you you're not sure about what's going on, but you know that something has ended, and you're like, well, maybe it's because they weren't ready to commit to this manifestation, this joining of this partnership of some kind. Your advice is to go within and change something on a core level with yourself. This is also to let things change in your external to have patience and heal things as they change, to allow the changes to come in and to try to adapt to those changes as needed. So if it's about a friend circle or a friend leaving your life, this is allowing the changes to happen and not forcing it, but working with the energies that are currently being displayed or being shown to you to temper and change and heal yourself and your life. To have a goal, but to have fluidity within that goal, to know that things will change. And this is something about the past here. Taking what you've learned in the past and in terms of your emotional balance in a situation, emotional harmony. This could have been in intimate relationships of all kinds, friendships, romantic partners, and taking that and using that in order to understand what you're going for emotionally the next time round, while also adapting to the change, like also allowing the changes that are happening outside of you to kind of help you measure out just how much you're putting into a situation next time round, learning from the past, using the emotional intelligence that you've gained from being deeply intimate with other people, and kind of I don't know, there's something here about healing the past, allowing the changes to come in and adapting to that. But there's also this kind of, I don't see the moon, but the 8th house can be a house of secrets as well. These are secrets that need to be handled delicately as well in terms of intimacy. So somebody could be also sharing something intimate with you during this time, and you're going to really have to make sure that this information is kept and handled delicately, whether the emotions of the situation are handled delicately and the material or the information is handled, what you're learning in the situation is being handled. Something else could be happening where you've ended some sort of really tough cycle, and there is this kind of like feeling relieved as well by this. Like, you're like, okay, it's over now, and you're feeling emotionally better in the situation. You might be thinking about friends and wondering how they're doing, because you were so busy with work in the past, and there seems to be some sort of non-committed to being in a relationship at this time that's not wanting to be looked at, somebody not wanting to look at that kind of, make a partnership agreement or commitment of some kind, and wanting to be free to manifest what they will at any given point. A Sagittarius could help you with an ending during the time of Scorpio, or a challenging ending. Somebody of the past is going through an ending as well. This person could be a Scorpio or a Sagittarius, or have those placements. You could get advice from this friend, this person. in the near future, I do see there being a new opportunity for growth and a risk that will be taken in order to have that new opportunity. And this could involve other people in your life or how you're thinking about something. It's a little more selfish of an energy just because it is fire and it is that new fire, and it is it's all about new. This is all very having to do with internally projecting yourself forward and making a step. It doesn't involve others as much, but others could be kind of seeing this as foolish or not seeing the value that something has or the potential of something. You might see an ending as something positive, but other people don't understand why. But you can see the potential in something and of what you've lost and what you're going to gain in a situation. There is this kind of, yeah, other people are seeing you as like not taking things very seriously at this time, being a little bit immature about how you're handling what you want to do in the world. They could be kind of seeing you as being happy to handle the chores of life, but also not quite seeing you as a full mature adult in a situation. They also could be seeing you do something creative that you've just kind of started to become you're on your way to pro, basically. You might have gotten some news about some financial opportunity for growth, or they see this as good news for you to get some opportunity for growth in a situation. But I almost see this as like some sort of news about a creative project that you do that's now expanding, that's now growing. People are seeing that as like something that has the potential for growth, or a lot of work has been put in, and up until this point it's been more of a game. They're seeing it as more playful, but now they're seeing the potential for growth. If this has to do with anything to do with painting, or this could have to do with anything from any creative pursuit that you have that is also going to be making you money. So I think that they're seeing there's news that you're going to start making money from something you are doing creatively or that you've put your passion into. You've started out on a new journey, and people are starting to see the potential and the growth of that new journey. Even though it's not perfect yet, even though there's no stability in the situation yet, they can see that you're tempering, you're trying to mix the mediums. This, I'm getting paint, I'm getting creative, some sort of mediums and some liquid paint, some type of paint. Some of you do that. This is also about news about manifesting money coming in that other people are bringing to you, or other people are seeing this news. They might catch wind of this and I don't know exactly. I still think that they see you as like being kind of foolish about something. Maybe you ended a job recently, um, that was more like established, more financial in nature and labor in nature, and now you're doing something creative that is kind of, you know, at its beginning stages and not as secure financially. This is also like the starving artist kind of vibe. They see you as like a starving artist of some sort. Maybe they see you as unable to hold your ground in your finances, which is not like a Capricorn, but we all have different charts to live, right? So they see that there's some sort of immaturity, or what you want to create is not, they're seeing it as not able to produce enough money to survive in some sort of way. Or they don't resonate with it in some sort of way. So now, in terms of your hopes and fears, I think you're hoping to gain clarity, to get a clear plan of action, that your ideas will be successful and will help you to attain some sort of notoriety or mastery of a situation. What you're fearing is taking a step back, being looked at as somebody who doesn't have the intelligence to make a decision, make the right decisions. You don't want them to think of you as immature anymore. You don't want them to think of you as somebody who isn't thinking rationally. I think that there's like something here about, you want people to see you as an intelligent person, not an irrational person. Also, this can be hoping that somebody who is very wise and has some notoriety of some credential, some intelligence, right? That they're going to give you news that you might have some potential of some sort, that they'll take you on and mentor you in some sort of way, that news of a mentorship, you're waiting for communication back. It's as if he's like looking at the Jack and saying, all right, well, you've got it. It's like a judgment of how you're behaving, what you're saying, what you're doing. This is a criticism, but not in the way of the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is she's very fair, she's balanced, but she's kind of gruff, you know. She's been through stuff. She maybe doesn't have the fully set emotional intelligence of the king. Now, I'm not saying that this is like, I'm talking about in terms of a hierarchy within the tarot. I can read the king like the Queen of Swords, and I can read the Queen of Swords like the King of Swords. I don't see the Queen of Swords here. So I'm seeing somebody who is allowing for some sort of immaturity because they understand that someone else isn't at their level yet, and they used to be at that level. And so they kind of give people a little bit more of a break, versus the Queen of Swords, who is very like no nonsense, very Mary Poppins about everything, like spit spot, like we're done, we're getting this done. They see that you are your own unique individual, and how you're going to get there mentally, and master something. is going to be the your own uniqueness. So they are trying to kind of, you're hoping that the clarity will come, that people will see that you have the potential to, or the intelligence for a situation. You have the smarts, you know what you're talking about. That you're not irrational. You might fear that people will see you as immature or irrational or irresponsible in some sort of way. Because I have this Jack here, this another Jack here, the Fool. It's very like foolish, like young and playful energy. This is also news about like there's like this fiery and air quality, like if this is about singing, if this is about anything to do with verbal written communication, anything to do with that, or your skills in those areas, it's passion. You're communicating what you're passionate about, and now you're trying to show people just what you know. And this person knows more than you. Maybe you're hoping to be this person. I just see that like you're hoping to find a mentor that can get you to this level, or you're hoping people will see you as this and not see you as someone who is less than studied in this situation. All right, so now we're going on to the 10th card placement, the outcome. You might be really worried to the point where you're being kind of paralyzed in a situation about something. You might have some stage fright in terms of whatever you're going to be displaying to somebody, or you might have some sort of you just might be kind of nervous about a situation. I do see stage fright here. Stage fright, anxiety, not being able to sleep at night. Maybe there's some sort of test that you're being put through. You really want whatever this is. There is some sort of struggle that you're going through in terms of career. So this anxiety is more coming from, not from the friends issues necessarily, but the career. It's how people see you is really bothering you at this time. You might be very self-conscious about how you're being perceived by others. Deep down, your relationship to what you want to manifest in this world isn't clear. You're not seeing yourself clearly at this time, or what your capabilities are in terms of your partnerships of any kind. So there's this kind of, I think it's you worrying about something. You might have had some kind of fall in the past, and that is what is kind of triggering this kind of trauma in you, this stage fright in you this time around. You might feel like you need more experience in a situation. You might not feel like you're ready to be the master, but then suddenly things change. You get a new perspective on how you're feeling. Other people get a different perspective on what you've been doing or feeling or what you're involved with. Other people, your associates, your friends, they gather around and they see just what you've been up to, what your new reputation is now. And you have mastered a skill. You have become the master. Now you're putting your finesse, your touches on things. You were so worried that you were back here in something, but other people, this is transformation has gone on behind the scenes. Nobody saw any of this. This has all been kind of percolating. You might have moved away. You might have gone somewhere else and taken a break from everybody, so they really don't know what's been going on with you. Maybe there was some sort of situation where somebody was being demanding and overcritical of what you were creating, and so you took a break from people for a while and started focusing more on yourself and what you needed to do and what you were interested in, and sharing that experience only with those who appreciated just what you could bring to the table, what you had to offer, what you were growing in your life. There is some sort of emotional turbulence that came from this hypercriticism of some kind, and an inability to walk away from that, like you stewed in that for a while. But there's this new beginning. There's this new beginning that's coming in for you. You are, this is a reading for somebody who has been not faking it till they make it, who has been very hypercritical of their own work. You're worried about what your friends are thinking. You're worried about what other people are thinking. You might have had a fall in the past in regards to this, or somebody was very critical of you or said something really mean, and you really took it to heart, and so you went into overdrive. You were burning the candle at both ends. You've been working extremely hard on whatever skill or whatever. This is like infinite manifestation abilities, because now you've mastered the foundations of whatever you're doing and are now able to take core concepts and connect them in different ways that other people cannot think of. This is going to the next level. This is your, what are those things? Master class. This is your master class. Your own personal master class. Suddenly people see that you are no longer a joke, that you've really gotten your shit together, that things have, whatever ending that was painful over here that might have had to do with career or friends or, foundation, that things have changed and that you are going to be victorious, or you have a victory, and you're being asked to take some time to evaluate, to truly meditate on where you're at right now before you keep going, because maybe you're being too hypercritical. Maybe you're stressing yourself out too much in career. Maybe you need to take a break from the hypercriticism, the self-criticism, the doubt, the fear. Other people might see you as kind of a strange bird, but very talented at what you do. Okay, let's walk through the houses really, really quick, because I don't want this reading to go... Oh, it's only been 34 minutes. Last night I had a doozy. Anyway, I think it was Aquarius's reading that was an hour and a half, and I was like, oh my god, I can't. Okay, so first house, the 10 of Swords. Um, this is back pain in the physical body. This is also ending one way of, this could be like ending some sort of toxic behavior or cycle that has to do with the body. There's could be something that was very painful that you were doing to your body that you were like, I can't do this anymore. This is like, I'm not doing a tattoo, I'm not doing waxing, I'm not doing. There's something here about physical pain in the body and that ending. So that's good. There is like this relief that will come. Maybe you're just at the end of this thing, and there's some sort of relief that's coming from this. The end of a painful cycle will be nearing a close, with the physical body. So then there's this second house thing with the Queen of Cups. If you work in the tarot, medium, any kind of esoteric arts of any kinds, metaphysical arts, healing arts of any kinds, this is you making money from that, you having resources from that. This is also somebody who is very nurturing of others, so you could be doing a CNA thing, a CP, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody who takes care of others, their emotional being. This is also a counselor, so you could be making money doing that, doing like a coaching thing. There's something here about that. Now, third house. A friend, you could have a friend come in your local environment, or a cousin or a sibling might become a friend. There is some sort of trio here that I see that maybe you guys hit it off in some sort of way in your local community, in your neighborhood. You could have a friend move in, a new friend move in next door. There is, or a friend could be moving towards your neighborhood, or you could be moving towards their neighborhood, or in their neighborhood. So there's something here about locality of friendship, and the mechanics of your day-to-day environment, and having friends, or something, some sort of union of souls there. There's community there. So you might be joining a support group in your local environment, your neighborhood, some sort of community group of some kind. A fourth house. Relationship dynamics in the fourth house with family. There could be, some of you might not want to move in with a partner. You might be getting cold feet with moving in with a partner. There's also this kind of there might be a lack of harmony in the home because somebody can't relax in some sort of way, that, or that they'll be, it's not like there'll be a lack, so I shouldn't say a lack of harmony. I should say that the harmony of the home will come from a place of passion. There will be passion projects in the home. You could be doing something creative with a partner, taking creative action in the home. This is also deciding to paint the home. This is about painting homes. You could hear that somebody in your family has had an infidelity situation. That's just for one or two of you out there. And this doesn't mean your immediate family. This could be extended family as well. This is also having a lot of intimate relations, as old people say, in the home. This is kind of rebellious energy. So there's like this inability to, it's like a pollination. I'll just put it like that. It's like pollinating energy. Going from one cup to another cup. you fit it where you need to. You also could be like changing things up in the home that creates more balance. There's a lot of change with the Knight of Clubs. He's always on to the next thing, so you might want to move the feng shui around a few times this period or change things up. You might have some new element that needs to be added, or some new piece of furniture or something, and you're like, okay, well, how do I accommodate this? Now I'm going to change the whole room again and see if it works. So it's something about that. It's like creativity with the home, in the home. You might be doing this with a partner, or some sort of partnership. You might have a home business, a family business that's a painting business of some kind, house painting, contract work. But it usually, I think this is more on the creative side of things, so you might be doing more detail work of some kind, or specialty work. So 5th house. A business could be doing well. A creative business could be doing well, but there's this potential for some new start within the business that you're not seeing, or that you're not appreciating enough, or there's like this, yeah, it's like a home business situation that's creative that you do from home. You might be distracted with that, or you might have like something that could add more value to your business that you will be coming into understanding soon, or there is some sort of foundation that is being placed in some sort of creative way. This is also, I'm seeing like a carnival where somebody is throwing in or trying to toss a ball into a cup. So this is like some sort of game of chance of some kind, and you getting a prize from it, or maybe you're getting bored with what you've been creating, or the fun things you've been doing, your leisurely activities, sports of some kind. This can also be about basketball, bowling, basketball. I feel like it's more basketball. Something to do with making the shot. You're getting really good at whatever you're doing, but there's another element that you might be missing that you want to throw in, that might make the situation even more emotionally enjoyable for you in some sort of way. Okay, so then 5th, 6th house of health. There is some new, I don't want to say risk, but a new venture within health, or a new slate within health. You could be taking a risk in your day-to-day routine. You could be changing things up. There could be a new opportunity to change things up, and you're taking it, and people might see that as a little bit risky, or you might feel that's a little bit risky. It is a chance. There's like a lot of maybes in the situation, but it seems like it starts to go really good for you, that things start to change. There's new beginnings. This could have to do with somebody you're partnering up with. Maybe you're moving in together with a friend. Maybe you're changing, you're moving your house. Somebody's got like ants in their pants, like about moving maybe home. So if this is what you've been feeling, or you can take the new beginning, take the risk, move in with a friend, or get that house, or start that new job. You also might be starting a new job that you've never done before. You might be getting a new pet as well. I don't see any animals but in the death card. You might have had a pet pass away in prior, and now you're getting a new one. Yeah, the animals I see are only, it's like their bodies are animals. Oh, it could very well be that this is representing that. So, yeah, like a new pet in the home. I can see that for some of you. This is the ending to a belief system as well of the past. This is healing past beliefs, healing toxic behaviors in relationships. So maybe you've been in some kind of toxic cycle, psychologically, spiritually, in terms of your beliefs about relationships or how you've done them in the past, and now you have a whole new philosophy, or you're healing from that old philosophy and situation, and now you've gotten a new take on the past. You've got a new understanding of, you're like a whole new person this month period that's coming in. In the past, you were definitely more concerned about money. That it was more, you were more in Capricorn kind of mode in the past, and now you're getting into what sparks your flame, what makes you excited about life, what you're thinking about, how you're mentally doing in terms of what you're creating, and just how. That's why I think that, like, whatever judgments were passed on you about, or your self-criticism, you're changing your relationship to other people, you're changing your relationship to yourself. You might have been kind of in some sort of crisis before, and you're healing from that, from the past. There is some sort of ending. It could have been, a partner ending drinking. It could have been something to do with somebody has stopped some sort of behavior, or some sort of negative self-talk, or negative self-love, negative, just something negative anything. It could have been drugs, alcohol, any kind of addiction as well. Yeah, somebody in your life that you're partnered up with could have quit drinking, or your relationship to alcohol has changed, or there's something here about your relationship to yourself is changing. You're not beating yourself up anymore. People are seeing just how far you've come in terms of a skill set. your 8th house of the occult, the taboo. I feel like this is kind of tying into this. The 8th house. You might be excited but kind of nervous about your credit limit increasing, or um, there's some sort of expanding your resources that are tying you to other people in some sort of way. In terms of, there's some sort of shared resources that are expanding that might make you, like, news of that might make you feel a little bit like excited, but also like, am I ready for this? A child could be significant in terms of maybe you're buying a house together with somebody and you're moving in with them and they have a child and you've never had children before, or teenagers before, and so this is kind of you're expanding your resources attached to somebody else, and there's somebody's child is involved. You might be financially responsible, taking on somebody else's kid and guardianship of some kind. This is the shared resources, what you share with others. So this is also working to pay off a debt of some kind or loan. Not feeling maybe you're not feeling as passionate about that. I don't know what this is also expanding the financial or the resources that have to do with the occult in some sort of way. You're expanding your territory of experience as well. This is also taboo things, so this can have to do with a child doing something risky for money. There's risk involved. There's something here about that. There is and I say child meaning like adult child, most likely. It's also the house of crises, so it could be like some sort of Mexican restaurant of some kind is opening up. You're getting a loan for it. Something like that. There's something here about something being plated. Expanding the desires of some. Now I'm stumbling. Other people might see what you're doing, what you're expanding upon, as taboo. Whether they see you taking money for it as taboo, or there's like this news about some sort of expanding of finances, you might be excited about this. I see you being like ready to, you know, you might not have all of your eggs in a basket yet in order to handle this fully, but there's something here about what does the 8th house influence have to do? A business. Yeah, it's something to do with a business. There is some sort of organization. This could be the government as well. Taxes involving. This can be being just knowing that you have an accruing debt with with taxes, or there's some sort of resources that are coming in to help you in regards to this from the government. There's some sort of shared resources having to do with government assistance. This could be food stamps. This could be anything to do with receiving some sort of consumer assistance from an organization that is sharing finances in some sort of way. Ninth house. Hey. I hope it didn't freeze. Ninth house. Your studies abroad, your travel abroad, your beliefs, your higher knowledge. Something that you're going to be doing or you're getting into, you're thinking about teaching. You're thinking about eventually getting into teaching with this. You're teaching a skill. You might go and teach abroad doing something. You might, it might be English, it might be the written word or literature or something. This can also be any kind of philosophy. This is teaching like more English based or language based arts, communication arts. You're hoping to teach abroad, or you're hoping to be able to teach other younger people than you what you know in some sort of way. And this could have to do with higher philosophies in life, or this is your higher purpose in life, or your philosophy on life is to teach others. All right. Ninth house, 10th house. We said career. I think that career is going to be very stressful for you at this time. Just coming into the immediate future, there might be a deadline. You're nearing the end of some sort of project. Or there's been some sort of ending in career that's caused you to have to really get a new perspective on how you're going to handle a situation. Like one part of the funding for some part of your job could be let go, and you're like, well, now what am I going to do with this? I have all these other things that were tied into this. What do I do with them? Am I going to be able to shut this all down in enough time and also keep my head afloat. There's something here about stressing over something to do with career and needing to get a new perspective on that. Or your friends, your associates around you might be looking at things a bit differently than you are, and that's stressing you out. Their perspective is stressing you out. They might be stuck in their ways about stuff, and you're trying to get them to see what you need them to see so that we can make things go well in career. Also, your friends could be giving you some solid advice that is coming from a place of existential, like, not involved kind of thing. So they're not involved in the situation, so they're giving you some advice looking in through the window, and that's going to help you in some sort of way untangle yourself from a situation. I feel like he's looking at this and he's like, I don't know how to get this, but if he could look at it from this way, he would be able to pull that sword out, and then he'd be unstuck, or he'd be getting to the point of being unstuck. Yeah, I also, back to the friend thing, if you're going through a friend circle transformation of any kind, like you're feeling kind of lonely, um, you might be kind of, your friends and associates might be kind of non-existent right now because you are being held up for some sort of spiritual reason. You are really, you might not be as involved with friends anymore. You might have a period of being very sovereign and alone. I don't see the Hermit card. I did have it down here, didn't I? Yep, I did. You're focused on your money. You're focused on what you're doing, what you're getting into, your skills, your resources. And other people might not be on the same page as you. You might be coming across to other people as very strange or out of the box or quirky at this time. But you are, this is also teaching music, by the way. Teaching music abroad, or going to see some sort of show or musical, opera, orchestra, something like that. They're seeing you as kind of the oddball out, or you're feeling not, you don't feel comfortable with your associates or your friends at this time. It's as if you've changed so much that you're not adapting to other people now. You're adapting to what you've learned from your past and what you're ready to be in this world. So they're saying don't change who you are for other people. Be different. There's a little bit more spontaneity that's coming in. There's like this Uranus kind of energy, this fiery kind of energy. You might be a disruptor of the harmony of your home life in some sort of way from something that you're doing. I don't know what it is. Something physical, obviously, that makes noise, or something there. 12th house. 12th house. There is some sort of spiritual manifestation of some kind. You might be skilled at working at an institution. You might be somebody who is a correctional officer, a psychiatrist, a criminal psychologist, anybody who does that kind of very skilled, like a lot of credentials are needed, or a lot of talent or skill is needed to work within this specific kind of environment because of the sensitivity of others, or the undoings of others as well. So working with people who are challenged in some sort of way, spiritually, mentally, physically, I bet more so spiritually and mentally. You're getting really good at that, or you're being seen as somebody who is a master of that. This is also being a master of occult sciences such as astrology and the tarot. This is also making money from those things. Maybe you didn't feel good enough to make money from those things. Maybe you felt still at the page level in the game, but really you're being seen as somebody who maybe somebody in authority is noticing you. Maybe your other people in your life have, your friends that aren't interested in whatever you're interested in, have thought it as kind of a silly game of sorts. But now you're getting news from some sort of organization or some sort of establishment about, we like your stuff, we like what you do, we want you to come and do this for us or that. And now it's changing how you think about yourself, how hypercritical you are of yourself. There's something that comes in that frees you up in order to make some money and do this and be seen as somebody who's very respected within a community, and somebody who knows what they're talking about in terms of 12th house matters. Somebody who's making money from an institution or an organization of some kind in regards to healing people with trauma. You're victorious, and then you take like a little, you're being asked to take a little break. It's as if you need to refuel. So I think that they're talking about the refueling is taking the negative things that have come from a situation and helping that to push you and drive you forward into getting out of this thinking hypercritical about yourself, because you're right here, the Empress. She's the one that's the creator. She manifests because she just gives birth to new things. She starts new things. I feel like this all has to do with you starting a new chapter in your life and other people seeing you as being somebody who's come out of the kind of off the benches, really. All right, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will see you in September. Like, share, and subscribe if you please. Bye.